kan zijn dat deze blues is gedragen door hun. Even wat voor hun doen. Kento en Genzo. Gang style. Toch even passen, zo even denken. Ik heb erover gesproken. Man. Ja. Kan zijn. Kan zijn dat die blues er wel. Ik heb iets van de single voor die. Sommige mensen hebben some people, yeah, they have plans. You want to have something like this camping, you want to have houses for rent. You try to be Mr. Ford yourself. You want to do everything what Tarzan was doing on the island. You want to take this over, but I say maybe don't do it. It's hard when you have to run. Because this thing is going over maybe to lava. I'm sure, it's not maybe. It's very sure that this thing is going to collapse. And if you feel the power to make this body normal, it's maybe that I'm talking about evacuation. Maybe for sure. It's not that we have family problems, breathing, finding your father or something, or finding your family, but also volcano helps to find people, because then you are going to your place where you normally come from, and then you are having also this new feeling over you. These guys are where I'm sitting with are partly part Hollywood and part criminal activities. Criminal activities are try to be like Tarzan King, or like little Latin boys, Indians. You want to have things that we made, and because you're older you want to have those things. Like a car fabric and those things. And then you become like a late born older one, like a little brother from my grandpa, and you come to say you can take over those things from this camp. Don't do. You better can run. You better can think twice. That God never let you take over things. And if you want to take it over, he's collapsing it, the whole thing. That's why this volcano is coming also for one deal. Otherwise it was still Tarzan with a lot of animals. Otherwise I was still playing with elephants. Otherwise it was still here a tropical farm and forest. And that is now ruined by some folks. Watch the show, I see a picture that you come here to taste a few fruits one day. You wanted to take over this farm. Now you're standing in the situation that you have to run. It's an example about how things went at the time that you came in your colonel of Napoleon suit. Come and try to take over from little Indians a whole farm of tropical fruit. And now this thing is also not going through, that you're gonna have the farm and that you're gonna have the activities and the things, the products that we are making. God is collapsing all this thing. So you group who wants to steal from little guys like us, brothers from our grandpas, is not gonna get what you wanna get. You have to start believing God, and that God wants this thing to collapse and not have to sit around here and be stolen. That's what I want to learn. I just have to sit around and say that God is never let you take something from us, even if I'm a little Latin guy. That's the best situation to sit around with, and that you feel that you not can take it over, and that you not can steal it, and that you have to sit here and be happy. If you are now happy with us, we were playing in the jungle, in the forest, with a lot of animals. If you are always happy. But if you have envy and jealousy, you're gonna get this, what's coming now. A volcano was making sure that this island is gonna be renewed. Because you killed the nature already by not being friendly in those times that we are having Indian war and those things. At the time there was still a little bit forest. You know about Blackfoot, Bigfoot and black bear and brown bear and those names that you are seeing in the time of Indian, those animals were still here. Even the Black Panther gang was still here. Leopard, the leopards, the Cleopatras, those things were still here. We had still a forest with tropical fruits and those wild animals running around being happy with us. Tarzan was still having his time at the time. But now those things are over. And now God say, if you ruinate the nature, and those things from Tarzan are gone, the jungle, the forest, and the happy time that we played with animals like monkeys and our good friends, gorillas, tigers and lions, even snakes became our friends, and they are now hiding and try to get this volcano over and try to become again, to have us maybe in the future coming here with some friendly some friendship with them again. Those animals wants to be friends and not enemies from us. That's my personality and the things that I learned from them. So they want to be friends with me again, and they want me to come in a friendly way. Not that I'm coming to attack them like you guys, the older ones, came to attack Indians at the time. The little ones who are in the jungle of Tarzan, in the forest of Tarzan. So yeah, I see the club where I was with the group, and the animals are hiding here somewhere in the forest deep, and they like to become friends with us again, and they like us to know them again also. It's been a long time, and that's the only way that God is showing me what is to become human and have power. Power is that you have strength, and that you feel yourself nice and beautiful every day, and becoming beautiful. So it's we call it Heimweh. Heimweh is meaning that we are yeah, we want to see the animals back, our animals from the past. We want to reunion with them again, become one with them, and be friends with those lions and tigers again, and snakes. And that's what God also wants, because we are now with God also happy that we know God, and that we are having our reunion on Sunday with God, and that He's given us strength to become good in feeling that we feel good now. Because if you are thinking how happy you can be to know God now, and maybe to know later animals like elephants and not shooting them, respecting them for the work that they do in the forest, that they are making the trees, that they are stamping the ground, that the lions is doing other work, then you're gonna respect the nature. Even from butterflies, you're gonna respect the nature, and you're gonna respect what they do, and that's giving us strength to live on and not being punished by God. Because in this volcano we don't want to save everyone. I see. God wants to punish those who are punishing at the time animals, who are killing animals and shooting them, and try to become better from this, and try to make God unhappy with the colors that He's making with the animals himself, to show Himself in the skies, in the universe. I sometimes say that He has maybe a chain from a few tigers, or a chain from leopards, or He's showing that He has a gray sweater from elephants. Those things God wants to have, and those things God also, like, I want to wear this thing, a sweater or a blouse or whatever. God is showing me that this blouse is maybe being worn by someone else, and it's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. So for him, it's also not a nice feeling to see that his animals are not coloring him, giving him the color that he wants in the universe. That's a big issue, because you are maybe very egoist that you say forget about God, but then you better can see yourself getting punished in this volcano, because if you are saying God don't need this, then he also say to you, you don't need me. That's why I have to become myself a very strong believer in God, what we are doing wrong daily, to make him unhappy. And if you wake up and see that you are making God unhappy, then you start and realize that he can kill you like nothing, and that he can take you out in his game and sometimes give you to another God species. If you are a little bit smart, you see that he's gonna do this volcano, that his son is maybe leaving to another planet. And sometimes if you are only praising his son, then you are having to go to another planet with his son also. So it can become that you are living on Mars next time, the son of God, or on Venus, the daughter of God, because you are not welcome on his tradition and style. Sometimes Venus or Pluto or those things can be a country like Australia or something, or Japan or China. That's what you have to realize also maybe. Then you see that God is big, but not maybe the biggest thing. Not maybe the biggest Gwanda God. Some people have to learn a lot of things about God, I realize. As a young kid, when I became Tarzan, I see a lot of things that people don't know, and that you maybe better can eat to become something, and to make the best out of you. I see that people are really not caring about God and taking everything for granted. And that's why we are coming to points like this, that he's having Judgment Day. Judgment Day can stand before the door, or maybe 10 years from now this volcano can come. Then I'm very early right now. But if you feel that it's really coming, then you have to only to look around. Why is it here maybe hot? It is hot here because God say I need trees. If you plant a lot of trees of 100 meter, of 250 meter, even 1,000 meters high, this thing is not going to be hot no more. This is a sunblock that he wants to make. Otherwise you have to sit around and suffer that those trees are not standing here. Those are things that I learned from Tarzan at the time. And with my group, I hope that they're also learning that God can be mad if you don't have his things. Means that God was showing us with animals, if you're not sharing this part of bananas with these clan of apes, tonight you're dead. And that's how we are surviving ourselves in the forest. And sometimes if you are egoistic, you can find yourself at the hospital, at the gorilla, having your whole brain culture being burst out. You want to see your whole brain hanging out like this, because you are egoist by eating all the bananas. Or you see that one hand is not here. And then you are walking in this jungle being laughed by animals like apes and tigers and lions. That's how I was surviving with this group of kids, my homies and those other two with me. And it was for real every time a theater that people don't know. if I have found ananas and I didn't bring it to the ones like lions or to the gorilla, and I didn't bring it to the snake to murder your death. And that's how it lives. And that's how it comes to you. It's like yourself are stupid by putting your ananas there in your hole and wait for the snake to come. Because he will crawl down and come to you at night while you're sleeping and say, did you put them for me, Gary? Or you want them for yourself? If you stick out your hand and say, I want this part of ananas or melons for yourself, then this arm is gone. Then you better can yell, oh, whoa, whoa, that maybe some Ferdi or some Riley is coming to save you from the snake. Because your arm is being bitten away, and then you are the laughing stock of the whole year or the whole 2 years before gorilla oasis is coming to you. After 1.5 years of laughing, being left in the forest with one arm, my girls know what maybe some of them. This gorilla comes with a white face, and she's like a doctor, or he's like a doctor, but he is not interfering, he's only watching. And she takes you to this oasis and remake you again and say you have another chance, stupid. Because some of us were limping in the forest with one arm and one leg, and everyone was laughing. The apes were laughing because we have to laugh you, and even us has to laugh each other. And that's why I started realizing and starting very quick that if you steal something or if you don't honor the boss, you don't get. And that's why I'm fighting with 7 of us every 25 December, a group of gorillas. Because when they get, they bring to us also. They say, are you the boss or we are the boss? And if you lose, then you have to serve this whole year coming the gorillas everything what you get. Even a little piece of fruit you have to bring to him. He's gonna eat it, test it, and say, you're alright. Today is like I have these folks around me also. Sometimes I think that they are gorillas maybe before. Say, why you in the hotel wants to eat something before me or after I'm testing it. Sometimes I think that you are maybe one of the gorillas yourself, or maybe you learned this from books from the past from us and came to take abuse over this. If you are maybe a woman from Sweden and you came to abuse our tradition and our style of living, then you were reading this in the books and you come here to take abuse over our Indians. But that's how it went at the time in the forest. And if you come in the jungle, then you are somewhere in the shit of the elephant. Then you have a lot of malachite, a lot of bumps on your fingers. Then you felt in the shit of them. You have to walk and wash yourself with the gorillas and the crocodiles 3 times a day. 3 times a day you have to wash yourself. Otherwise your head is being smashed by one of those apes. Because if you smell dirty, you smash your head against this tree or against this wall of a mountain, and you can go sit there at the gorillas again and try to make yourself. That's how we live, and that's how I built this community in America, on the side, the west side that I'm living, and brought a little bit of this learning to China, where there are other Latin kids who wanted to learn a little bit from us. But on the west side we keep this religion, And now our people coming here try to ruinate us, and they are not so happy that they are here. So the nature, Mother Nature is saying it's game over. And that's why they want to collapse this island to a volcano. That's the story about our community here. And some of you want to take abuse of us again. But in the future stands that we're fighting you back hard for trying to make us local. Nobody has to make us local. So look out what you're doing. The same thing in the world. If you are stealing from people, you're going to get dying. And that's a lesson that I 100% know. I'm not going to say that you're going to escape from this. This road that you're going to travel is bringing you to death. And now I'm standing here to have choices, to save people. I walk away. On myself is getting maybe something that I was doing in the past was not good. I'm an army boy and I was shooting people also. Sometimes I was having this material gun and I'm thinking about Tarzan time. I say I don't have to shoot these people. And then I wake up and I watch them then again. I don't have to shoot these people. And then I wake up and maybe I pull the trigger. Game over. Let's go to take over the space. Those decisions I don't like to make in army. I'm a guy in general who waits very long before I take everything down. And sometimes you get a no from God. But if you take a yes, then he comes to punish you. I wondered if I did something like this. I was sitting in this plane one day. I wondered if I shot this bomb to a thing that I didn't supposed to do. So even I can make mistakes. And those things are coming hard to me also. So I'm glad that God is putting me every time to this place that he say, I'm important, and then it's you. First me, and then you. So am I really doing my best for God? I don't know. But I say to people here, evacuate and go to a better place where you can wait. In Holland you have 400 years because something happened there. 400 years is not much. But also there I have to take a few kids away next time and evacuate them to another place. Most times is we are building here, and when it's done then you can come live here. And this thing is gonna be collapsed. Why Holland is gonna be collapsed? Maybe are people who are thinking that they're having things that they're not supposed to have. Sometimes it can be even your car. If I learn the jungle rules very deep, thinking that you have maybe the car stolen that are belonging in my palace, or to another guy. So I hope that you all are a little bit of bikes. That's why we maybe have readings for Zitter at the time. People are stealing bikes from me. Those bikes were all from me. And you know the name Venus for Zitter? It's a halo. That's why it's called Venus for Zitter. Sitting on my bikes. And hold them as healer, as a boggler. A healer. So you Venus for Zitter. I'm at it. You can learn a little bit about this. And that's how they sit in Holland again, stealing from me. Because there I get my bikes to run the marathon. So we were not stupid. We were not stupid. sometimes you have to know this law of a healer. What was he doing? Waiting till I come to sign. So sometimes we have to go with the law. Because for Zitterken means that he's a healer, but that he was waiting for me to come and say, I'm doing a thing and do give him what I see. Those things you have to think about. This for enough for tonight, and I'm going to do something. I wish you all good night. You can see this on YouTube. Maybe you learn from it, maybe you don't learn from it. But I'm a land leader, and that's why I'm a land leader. Because I made these rules and I know about nature and how nature takes people out. So I wish you all a good luck in this life. And pray to God. That's the best thing that you can do. And be good with the animals and the nature around you. That's the only lesson that I can give you. And with the people, of course, your community. I wish you all a good day now. Think about this thing. Yes, it's an audio. Nee, nee. Are you eating? On his island. Because now it's stealing time. Sodom and Gomorrah starts here. Now the people want lottery. It's like this is a military camp that you can take over now with a lot of games. What's gonna be volcano maybe, so I have not much to say. I have to say, okay, if you are doing those things to make us leave quick, my people don't believe in gambling with lottery for you. So I'm done.